What is going on, YouTube? Session Buffett here, coming at you guys with another narration. This time I'm playing Spellbooks, if you didn't notice. And I'm playing as the PGN deck, and he starts off with Yamato and since Turtle with 3 back row. I secret skip Magician, obviously. Go to do a Master Loop, but he has Fiendish, so I have to book, which I think was better than doing MST in that situation because it will allow me to get another search, which is awesome. So he just ends up attacking. He doesn't really want me to keep the Spellcaster on the field. And then he ends his turn, and he decides to get Centipede to the graveyard. Not entirely sure why still today, but I'll know someday. Probably not. Anyway, Secret's Magician. Finally get the loop with Master that I always wanted. And then I place Tower over Tower to get the third spellbook, because my game plan since the very beginning was just to get rid of the Yamato, and then hopefully I'll be able to just wreck, because that's normally how I play this matchup. But he ends up having the second Yamato right here, and that kind of killed my entire strategy. So now I'm just kind of hoping that I get my top decks to work, but you never know with this deck. As you see, I top deck the world. That will not be the last time, just as a spoiler. And he goes Centipede over my warning, and that kind of blows. And then he sends Bear, and then just well, damn. I kind of gave up at this point, but I just kind of played it out anyway. I probably should have MST'd or Regeki break to the Bear, but whatever. I was barely even thinking at this point. So I decide to go for life, but he ends up having Compulse, so it doesn't really matter. So that's kind of the end of that game. But you get to watch me just kind of sweat it out over here thinking, hey, power this. He won't have anything, right? He hasn't activated anything yet, but no. Side decking, I decide Kaiku because banishing things is a good idea, and I want to take out things that target and my Stoic engine that was in the deck for a more anti-meta approach. And Mind Crush because he searches a lot, and I can know what's in his hand a lot because of Wing Blast and things like that, which is neato. I go Magician and get Master, and then Master, and get Tower, which is the thing that you should normally do with the deck, and I just set all my back row and end. So he goes and summons Turtle, and I'm bottomless, which is kind of the thing that you should do, and end my turn. I go Tower, return Master, because, I don't know, copying Secret seems like a decent idea, and I go Magician, consume my Fate, and then I attack with everything, set my Wing Blast in my Fate, and end my turn. So now he goes into his Mikazuchi and tries to attack, and then I activate my Wing Blast, he activates Lance, and I activate Fate, and then we go into a portion which I call Ian's Illustration. So basically we have Mikazuchi over here with this awesome haircut and stupid looking face, god damn it. And then we have our Wing Blast over here, who's going to try and spin back to the top of the deck, go Wing Blast, go! And unfortunately he chains Lance, so Lance is going to protect him from the Wing Blast at the cost of 800 life point. 800 attack points, my bad. So there's Mikazuchi again, with his stupid haircut and smug smile because he's protected. But what happens here is we learn the all-important lesson of spellbooks when I chain my Fate and banish my 2 secrets, is that Fate is a bitch. And basically, what's going to end up happening here is my Chainlink 3 Fate is going to end up putting Mikazuchi face down, and that means that Lance won't have a target. So that's going to go unresolved, and just kind of disappears, poof, and the Wing Blast just wrecks everything. So there we go. That's what happens. Fate is a bitch. Moral of the story. So going back to the game, I top deck Master, and then I get Divine Wrath, and my automatic plan is going to be Divine Wrath the first thing that you can, so you can put another spellbook in the graveyard and hopefully not have such a bogus turn next turn. So he draws, I call Mikazuchi, and I see his hand, and I'm just like, wow, that was the exact opposite thing that I should have done. But it ends up not being too killer, I guess, because he goes for the really greedy play and decides to make Susanoo, and goes for the effect immediately, and I decide to Divine Wrath, but then Murakamo comes down, or the Killen or whatever, and just kind of wrecks my Magician. I decide to put Master to the bottom of the deck, and I top deck Book of Moon, which is really, really killer, because I get to search out my secrets. I must do the Kaiser Coliseum, which is going to happen anyway. So I search Magician, summon Magician, and get Powered in my hand, and then I make Shining Elf, which is one of the first times I've ever made extra deck cards with this deck, power it up, and attack over, and then get to search my... Well, I search secrets, and then get... I search Eternity, copy the secrets in the graveyard, and then get Fate. But Fate ends up going to my back row, it's the main point of the story. And right here I decide to Fate that face down, because I can recycle Fate, but I cannot recycle my MST. So that was kind of just the theory that went on there. I don't know if that was the correct thing to do, but whatever. Top deck the Kaiku, which is cool. And then I just go Secrets, search Fate again, because I don't have any spellbooks, or really Masters, for that matter. But yeah, just kind of beat in there with Kaiku, and then banish all of his stuff. It would really suck if he had another Buja Incarnation, because then I'd be kind of screwed. But Moral of the story here, he has Tenki, but it doesn't really matter. He only has Crane in his hand, and that's not going to help anything. So I decided that I really want the Wing Blast in over the MST because MST is kind of garbage. But what's going on here? He ends up getting Lance, and he already has Yamato, which kind of blows, but there isn't really anything I can do about it, and I'm really intimidated by this 3 back row. So I'm not entirely sure what I want to do, but I have like the search for days in my hand, which is good. I just go for the Crescent, call out some cool stuff, and then go for the secrets to get wisdom to hopefully make my magician play go through because who plays Valor and Bujin? Oh wait, this guy. Yeah, this guy plays Valor and Bujin, and I don't want to waste my fate to get through my magician. So I just Eternity, the secrets, revealing the fate, and then getting Eternity in my hand. And then I opt to go Fate. He chains his Lance to protect his Yamato, so I go for one of his face downs, which is kind of cool. Yeah, and then I just end my turn. So he attacks and then goes in for 1300, and basically the perfect thing happens because he has Centipede in his hand already. So he gets to go search Crane and then pop my Torrential, which is the only way I can deal with that stupid thing. So I kind of go for a desperate play here. It would have really been killer if it worked, but it didn't because he had a second Lance. But I just summoned the Breaker and Torrential, but then he has Lance, so they were kind of at a standstill. But so then I go Secrets and get Tower, and now I have my Tower online, so I get to do some drawing, which is cool. So he Centipedes into my Mind Crush, and then I chain call Crane, but he has Bujin Armaments in his hand and a Dark Hole, so I'm just like, well, shit. This is the worst situation to be in ever. So then I just kind of goes end phase and then gets the kill into his graveyard. And I make the mistake of returning Eternity to the deck, which was probably a really bad idea because there was no point. Nothing I had good was banished. And then I just decided to force him to get to the crane to his hand. So that happens because it was gonna just die anyway. He goes Keelan and then kills my tower, which is okay. I just check the spellbooks in my graveyard really quickly and then summon Kaiku. Yeah, that shuffle really kills me if you want to know a spoiler right there. So he attacks, and I'm just like, well, darn. So he goes Crane, and then I Divine Wrath that, so they both die, which probably was a bad idea because I could have waited till he went for his effect in the end phase and then blown him up, and then I could have attacked him for 16, but it doesn't really make a difference. So there's my first World top deck, and then he goes Honest Attack, and then there's my second one. So World just kind of screwing me over this game like a little bitch, because now I have pretty much no way to come back at this point. I just kind of bluff set, and he just keeps on poking me for 11 with that damn Honest, which is pretty bad. Fortunately, he doesn't top deck like Yamato and just put the game away. So I go Magician, and he opts to just Torrential it, which is a cool move, I guess. I mean, could have done so much better. But he opts to just Torrential the Torrential and then MST, which is a horrible play because if I had a Temperance in my deck, I would just summon that and summon the World and then won. But whatever. He attacks into Kaiku, which is fine. And then I just have to set everything and hopefully he just doesn't attack, because that's all I can do at this point. Sets more back row, which is great. And then I top deck a Temperance with nothing to summon with it, so that's cool. He goes Duality, and ends up getting a monster, and then that's kind of the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, top decking 2 World kind of loses you the game, but you know what? You have fun doing it, and that's just the moral of the story.